Well, hello everyone. Well, it's time for another personal share. Um, yeah, so I don't really know what I'm going to say. I do have a main point that I want to uh, make, but this is, just like a video diary for myself, but I'll share it with you guys. Oh, and you can see in the background all my little kitty bowls over there. I have a few little felines. And of course, all my Amazon boxes that they love to play in. So yeah, just ignore the background. Yeah, so it's really tough being an ordinary human working in the world and just yeah. So if anyone is new who's watching this video, I've been doing personal shares, and the air conditioning is coming on. It's going to get loud. I have to put you on pause. Okay, where was I? So, first of all, I am really forcing myself to make this video because honestly and frankly, I don't have the energy, the will, the motivation to do any of this anymore, to frankly do anything anymore. Well, and I'll get to that in a moment to the reason why. But yes, if this is the first time you're watching a personal share video of mine, yeah, I started doing these, I don't know, several years ago, and just kind of documenting my Kundalini process, awakening process, which, by the way, I am at the point where I am completely doubting I ever had an awakening. I completely doubt the whole spiritual journey. I mean, this may sound like a very depressing video, and it's really not. I'm just extremely tired today, so it's going to sound a little low key. Um, yeah, I just lost my train of thought. I don't know what I was saying. Yeah, so it's going to sound like I'm depressed and blah blah blah. I'm really not. It's just um, let me finish what I was saying. So I've been tracking, all the different stages of awakening, Kundalini, then Kundalini coming to a completion point, and then, what do you do after you've been on the mountain and secluded in the cave for many years? You've got to come back down and embody this awakening. And then I got to a point several months ago when I accidentally got a job at a coffee house. And I realized, oh, this is how I'm going to further my evolution and my healing, right? Because you've got to be out in the world. Um, I've gotten this job, and I have been secluded. I mean, literally secluded in this house for a minimum, let's see, since at least 2012. So that's a long time, right? 12 years. Secluded, spiritual journey, just that's all I focused on. And then suddenly I have a job in a coffee house and I'm out in the world and yeah, learning to navigate that world again. And in the, at first, the honeymoon period, even though I did describe in my other personal share that I do have a very difficult and toxic working environment. I've never been around a micromanaging and completely narcissistic boss. And the whole atmosphere is very toxic. And I do have to admit that the first couple of months, really, this will all make me cry, really has taken a toll on my psyche because yeah, I've never been so humiliated. I mean, even though I'm here and I'm going to come to this job with this great awakening and try to stay present and interact with people and blah, blah, blah. Um, the interaction with my boss, which I have uh, did an oracle session on myself and realized, oh my God, this is a karmic relationship. And I am meant to be at this in this job right now at this point in time. Although I don't, I feel at some point it's got to end very quickly because I'm losing myself. And I know I'm going in different directions. Please just forgive me. But anyway, so the point or the reason I wanted to make this video is because it was about a month ago, month or two ago. Um, it just hit me when I came home in this utter exhaustion. And I have full empathy, total empathy. Oh, makes me want to cry for every single human being on this planet who is out there just working to survive, to live, let alone anyone who is trying to be awakening on the spiritual journey and having to work and survive because it is so hard. So if you're out there and you're on the spiritual journey, you're waking up to all this stuff, and you are having to hold down a job, you're exhausted, um, you know, I get you. And it is tough. And it's not the way we're supposed to be living in human form, right? And yes, I'm going to sound conspiratorial or a little kooky when I say this, but this I really feel is and have received in my own guidance. Now, whether that was ego guidance or not, is a prison planet. And there are forces that make the system and our lives so difficult. And it feels like when I sat down, I went, oh my God, it truly is designed this way. That they keep us in such fear of survival mode that we have to work to earn our keep on this planet. And that's a really deep programming in me, is that I have to keep working, I have to keep producing, doing something, cleaning, whatever, to earn my keep on this planet, or alive, to earn my keep to be alive. Anyway, it is so tough. It is so tough for people. Uh, yeah. So I understand why people can be the way they are. And I don't know what I mean by the way they are. Exhausted, um, don't care about much. They don't have time to follow politics or personal development or finding their passion. They're literally just trying to survive. And what I'm experiencing, excuse me, in my own life, I am exhausted. Is excuse is that when you're out, so what I'm experiencing, I'll speak for myself, but I know that this is, everybody's feeling it. I am, it's, I'm beating myself up because I feel like I've lost any sort of awakening, spiritualness, that I'm just like this empty human. I get up, go to work, 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 work. That's all I think about, work, work, work. And I'm not working. I'm trying to catch up on things in the house, whether, I have quite a few animals. So it's animals, clean, 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 clean. And then I collapse and I'm in bed by, 7:30 or 8, and then I'm up at 4. Um, yeah. And I have discovered it is impossible I had the ideas of grandeur that I was going to be in the coffee house and be present in myself and interact. And I am, but not as much as I'd like to be. And what I find is being an ordinary human out there working, doing your stuff, it's the overstimulation of the senses, um, that it is so difficult to be present and within yourself because that requires your attention to be inwards. But life is, or my job is constantly pulling me outwards, whether it's like customers, of course, um, uh, mm, interaction with the boss that is not pleasant, DoorDash going off, drive through, the phone ringing, people calling in, or I mean, it's so much. Yes, I see people, and that's my boss messaging me right now. Um, it's so much outer stimulation and physical work. There are 2 days that I'm working at the store that I go for 11 hours straight, both days, back to back. I don't even stop to sit down. I don't even stop to go to the restroom. It's backbreaking because I'm the one doing all the cleaning and it's great. It's fine, right? But I'm just saying that I ha, mm, that I know most people, hardworking people on the planet are experiencing this. And then I get home and I'm so exhausted. Can I stick to the diet that is healthy for me? Not really. I'm having a very difficult time because I'm so tired. I don't care. Sugar's back in the mix, right? And so my eating has gone to hell, and that affects your mentality, right? And it affects your health. So my health is going down, but at the same time I'm so tired I can't remember to put food out so I have it ready. You get the picture, and I know so many people on this planet are going through it, and so I just want to say I feel you. And if you're on the spiritual journey and dealing with that, I totally get how difficult it is because I do not have even the energy to meditate. I have lost faith. Like, I question myself. I'm doubting this whole journey. Like, is it real? Because I feel like I've lost any connection I had, even though I am cosmic consciousness. You just feel like no one's talking to me, no one's helping me. You feel adrift. And I don't have the I don't have any inner desires, wants, except for sleep and to feel better. And please know, I'm doing really okay, right? I'm doing okay. I'm just sharing some of the thoughts and the things that are kind of swirling around in this kind of exhaustion, being a normal human. Yeah, I anything spiritual, I don't even know how to talk about it anymore. It's just because my attention is so out there all the time. And I do see now how much rest is important on the spiritual journey. I think that's point number one. You need so much rest because it is, at night when you're sleeping, when you get into really good sleep, that's when your soul or consciousness leaves the body. I mean, it stays in the heart, but half of it goes and it gets rejuvenated and it comes back and it integrates, right? And it comes back in. But if you're not sleeping well and you're constantly exhausted, consciousness is not very conscious, right? You keep going back to sleep. And I am, and you're going to be like me, losing your point, your train of thought. can't can't keep on topic. Um, and you have no time to turn inwards. and you don't even want to because you think you just kind of lose yourself. You lose who you are. And yeah, so I don't really know what I'm doing in this point in my life and in the spiritual journey. Um, I know there was some really important points I wanted to make, but I'm just, I know that this is a karmic situation that I have to um, work through because I will tell you, oh, yeah, this is the big point. I mean, because there's so much stimulation and having to work with I've the boss. I'm friends with her, but she's also the boss, and she's like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, like so nice. Like the real her is so nice and generous and funny, but then you know, and then she's humiliating you and mean to you and so full of anger, and this plays on a person's psyche, right? And man, does it really show me how little this personality, and I'm going to say the psyche and the personality really hasn't healed a whole lot. I'm still reactive, although getting better, right? But I still react. In fact, we had a big blow up this week. She started in on me, and I just said, and I asked at least I had the presence to go, universe, is this the time that I speak up? Because I had asked, please show, I was going to write a letter. I was going to send her a message saying, this behavior, what you're creating is killing people. Because I'll tell you what happened. Well, I know you're not really interested, but 2 weeks ago, I saw one of the saddest things I've ever seen. She was speaking to the chef and shut the chef down, like she always does to everybody, right? Shuts you down, ignores your opinion, your creative expression, your blah, just does it. And when she left, what I saw in my friend's face, I've never seen someone soul being crushed until that point. And she was trying to keep it together. She was just like this. She was so crushed, and I could see her whole inner truth collapsing. And I thought, that's it. I've got to say something. Anyway, so this week, so I've been waiting for the moment, and I just said, universe, you're going to have to just show me the time when I can speak up. And, I'm the chef keeps everything in and bottled up. And me, at one point, it's got to come out, right? And it doesn't come out in an elegant way whatsoever. But this week it had to. Thank goodness, or maybe it was designed this way. There was no one in the store. And I just said, that's it. This is enough. You have got to stop treating people this way, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know really what I said, but I did involve the chef, and that was not a good thing for me to do, but it was just the three of us. Anyway, where am I going with this? Yeah. So, I wasn't like Ramana Maharshi, that's for sure. I was still a personality reacting to certain circumstances and not handling them well, like a guru. You would think a guru would. But it did show me that what what I found really interesting was normally, pre-awakening, pre all this healing, blah, blah, blah stuff, I would have been in tears when I came home, in tears, hating myself, beating myself up for being so stupid, for reacting this way. I just would have been suicidal, right? Because that's the ego telling you, oh, you shouldn't have done it, blah, blah. Now, of course, I did have some of that, but I will tell you that despite my verbalization and reaction, and, there was and still nothing boiling inside of me, like none of that emotional beat you up kind of thing. I was just completely, now maybe I'm so disassociated that I'm not here anymore, or this is what people talk about, that it doesn't matter what the personality does, the true self is stable and has no reaction. So I don't know which one it is, but I want to say, I want to believe that it's, I'm I'm identified enough, the true self, that, and have detached enough and healed enough and understand enough about reality, that there was none of that self talk coming back, saying you're so stupid, just kill yourself, blah, blah, blah. No, I was just emotionally wise and spiritually wise. I was clean. And I'm having a hard time, like, wow, this is so weird. Is this how it's supposed to work? I was not attached. I was not beating myself up. I was like, well, that happened. And yes, I did some things wrong, but what can I do? I just got to move forward and do, there was no entanglement. There was entanglement by the fact that I was not thinking about anything. I was like, wow, this is really weird. Am I a sociopath now that I don't have any? Yeah. So that was interesting. Um, yeah. But then I was also kind of churning inside of myself about, I will go back to that point that I've made before, that all these spiritual teachers, oh my God, you know, I've said this before. Ram Dass says, if you think you're enlightened, go spend time with your family, go have Christmas with your family, and you'll see how quickly you are not. And that's kind of what's happened to me. I'm back out in the real world, interacting with people, and I'm like, bing, 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 reaction, blah, blah, blah. Um, yeah, so it has shown me all the places where I still need a lot of healing on the personality level. Um, but I, so many people, when they start the spiritual journey, like myself, you kind of jump off the real world Ferris wheel, and you start going into yourself. Maybe you quit work, you quit a job, or you start wanting to do all spiritual stuff, blah, blah. Yeah, I would say don't do that. Continue to be out in the real world, a normal human being, um, because if you have an awakening, coming back into the real world and interacting with people who don't give a shit about the spiritual journey or anything like that, it's going to be really, really hard. So why not do it in conjunction with everyday life? You know, I, I said this before. I challenge anyone to use spiritual teachers online who are making all this money and all they do is spiritual stuff all day long. Wow, how difficult it is to be present and aware when you have so much stimulation going on, people, blah, noises, exhaustion. I mean, wow, it's really, it is tough. Yeah. Um, I really hope that things begin to change on this planet very soon. I know that we do have a couple of difficult years coming, but something's got to break. And something's got to break for me as far as this job. I love and I hate it at the same time. I mean, she definitely needs to hire some new people, and because she's working, there's three employees, me, the chef, and another barista. She's working us to death. And of course, we could say no, but I hate to see someone suffering. And anyway, it's long. Anyway, um, because I'm easy. I'm an easy target. I'm an empathetic. I don't want anyone to if I can help, I do. Um, but I'm missing myself. I don't even know what myself wants anymore. Um, surely, surely I have something inside of me that has a higher purpose. I don't know, but maybe not. Maybe my ego is making way more out of this. Yes, that's probably 100% correct than it should be. And yeah, I'm sure this is an extremely long video and I apologize. But yeah, this is just, yeah, sleep and absolutely meditation is to have that inward reflection in resting back into yourself is so important. But I do recognize how difficult it is to do when you are overworked and overstimulated. And I get it. Okay, I think that's it. Let me see. Anything else? Um, yeah, I've got to force myself to do things like this, get back into, what I want to say is, um, being on the spiritual journey is easy. It's, it's easy because we are spirit. It's being human that is so difficult, and interacting with life. It's so difficult. And I really am. And of course, there's that saying, we're spirit having a human. Our work, like, I can, because I did it myself. You get on the spiritual journey and you become totally identified as a spiritual being. And you start wearing the malas, the getting the crystals, the funky clothes, because now you're identified. You're on the spiritual journey. This is where you're meant to be on this planet. And I think, no, it's really not. You're already spirit. Maybe spirit hasn't woken up to itself, right? It's We have to focus more on this human aspect of it. That's what we're here for your consciousness to be able to so deeply, what is the word? Ground, embody into the body, that awareness can remain at even the most difficult times. I mean, that's the spiritual journey for consciousness is the evolution of consciousness, and it's the ability for consciousness to hold its attention in a particular place, right? So, oh, I'm going to go off on a tangent. So it's like, for a mineral or a plant and an animal, it takes a lot of attention to hold consciousness in the physical form. And now we're human and we have to interact with others. This is why we're human, because we've evolved our consciousness. I'm not making sense. We've strengthened our consciousness. We have the ability to focus in a human form now. And we're holding it together, right? We're not falling apart. Um, but it's the this is the spiritual journey, is the human journey. I don't know what I'm saying, but I think we need to focus much more on embodiment rather than being so identified with the spiritual. Mm. Anyway, okay, I've rambled on long enough. I just thought it was time for me to make a video. I am doing really well. But like I said, I forced myself to make this video, even though I'm just extremely tired today, and I probably am sounding worse than I am. Okay, well, for now, bye.